Hey guys, 99.99999% of you are not currently subscribed. So if you would subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it a lot. Enjoy the video. Okay, hey guys, it's Ben Beyond Repair here. We're going to be looking at laning phase from my last couple of games since somebody wanted to see some more Braum gameplay. Some of these games are going to be better than others. Let me tell you, I've been on a little bit of a YouTube grind recently, and I may be a little bit rusty. Okay, so forgive me. So I'll be skipping around a little bit in this first one. Honestly, these first two games that we're going back through are pretty unique. I spend almost all of them roaming. I just watched and I had to restart the VOD, unfortunately.
Minions have spawned.
So right here, we're going to get into cheese position level 1. Like I say, level 1, I usually like to stand here near mid lane, you know, in case action's going to break out. Since I am so useful level 1 on Braum. And in general, I think support should stand there because usually support's going to be more useful level 1 than their AD. And then I like to transition into moving into here to in the furthest up bush to try to get on their right on top of their bot lane level 1 and cheese them as Braum. You know, they're very cautious about like checking here and warding here, but they never, you know, really pay much mind to the fact that we can be in here. And so we just get on top of them level 1 and there's no hope. No hope. We even get a nice little extended trade here. This may be a little bit too extended, maybe a little bit too extended right there. But, you know, Ezreal's really chunked out off of that one. And I can pop the pots. But I don't know, that 2 turret shots was a little bit rough, level 1. Swing and a miss. Probably shouldn't have gone for that at all. We don't really want to dive this because it's we don't have enough HP to do that. But our jungler is counter jungling here, trying to see if we can get on their bot lane. Brand actually didn't burn flash level 1, I guess. So flash is my Q right there. Get onto him, but unfortunately I've lost too much HP. No matter where I run here, I'm pretty much dead. Might as well. Ooh, I flashed though. Might as well get him away from the Volibear. Volibear trades it back. You know, and their Ezreal's getting zoned off this wave the whole time, so it's actually pretty good. And we're taking away camp from the enemy jungler as well, of course. Look, and this is a bit of a jungle gap. You're not going to see this in all of your games, but, you know, my jungler is going to come out here and cleanly dive the Ezreal and walk out of this one. And then their support is going to get killed here.
Killing spree.
I do a lot of like plays off of vision. So a big theme you're probably going to see is that I really like to play and essentially try to recreate this level 1 cheese that works to such success for me. I try to recreate that in other plays that I do. So for example, right here, oh man, except Kaisa W. You know, this is a very similar situation. Unfortunately, I don't have E level, well, I wouldn't be able to do that anyways because I have to W forward there. But we do end up picking up the 1-for-1, and he's losing even more minions and XP and stuff like that. So, you know, this is a really good start, even though it's unfortunate that Kaisa died. Their bot lane's obviously like getting completely bullied. You know, 4 minutes in, they've died 5 times, and it's 10 CS to 24. I mean, you just can't really have a better start than that. Honestly, the rest of this game goes pretty rough for me. you know, and I think it's going to be more beneficial that we go through a larger quantity of laning phases than watch the clown fiesta that unfolds in this one. But we're going to see here if I can find the other plays here that are looking good. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, so let's look at this play right here. So I have an opportunity here where I'm coming back from a roam or something. I'm coming back bot lane. And, you know, what a lot of people would do is they just run back into lane and stand next to Kai'Sa here. But what I'm going to do is, again, I'm looking for these plays where... Oh, man, they're so bad. They know where they know I'm here. They had a ward there? Oh, my goodness. Say it in, so... So did they see me walk in here? They saw me walk in here. There's no way. I guess just enough time passed that they just didn't even consider it, or they're not paying good enough attention. It was just for a second. But essentially, I like to recreate this level 1 cheese, and so I get in the bush here. Now, Kai'Sa ends up actually going mid and finishing off this kill mid here. But for me, I like this opportunity because this is a play where they're really not going to expect me to be here because my 80 carry is for show. And so they really don't expect me to ever be in this push. Right? And so Ezreal's trying to clear the wave, but now I've got Echo on the way while Kai'Sa's holding mid, and now I'm completely outflanked their bot lane. Level 3, you know, to level 7, it's a little bit interesting how this game played out. Like I said, I don't really care. I'm going to sneak up into the bush that's even closer to him here. Luckily, I just barely avoid getting respotted by that ward. Kind of messed up here by throwing Q too early instead of walking with them and autoing. You know, and so that's really rough. I think also if I would have queued the Ezreal here at the end instead of the Brand and held that one a little bit, maybe we would have stunned the Ezreal and I would have gotten out there. So I die, but it's 2 for 1. I could have played it better. It should have been a 2 for 0 off of that vision play that we did. You know, and then we got another one here. Maybe somewhere in here. Okay, so we got to play... Is this it? This can't be it. It's got to be way later.
Shut down.
Oh, right here. Okay, so look at this one. Same thing here. A lot of support players running out of base here, wanting to hold bot lane, would literally just stand here in bot lane. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap around and sneak into this bush behind the Ezreal and wait for Volibear to come, wait for the Ezreal to E and then Q so that I'm guaranteed to hit that Q, and boom, easy, you know, vision play. So again, a lot of this game was a little bit of a mess. You know, I'm on a bit of a YouTube grind at the moment, and so I may be a little bit rusty. But these were the plays from this one that I thought really stood out. You know, a lot of it's really just cheesing at the end of the day. All 3 of them were just cheesing out of vision. But that's really the story of this game, to be honest with you, is I made a lot of bad plays and died too many times trying to save my teammates, which is a common problem I have on Braum. Obviously, he's a champion that really wants to jump into bad situations, try to turn it around and save his teammates, and that's kind of the theme of the champion. But a lot of times that can be the opposite of how you want to play in solo queue, where you want to play a very safe and consistent game, and you don't want to be constantly throwing your game by playing for you know, dead 80 carry or something like that. But these were the good plays that I made this game. You know, you can count them on one hand, and the rest of this game just kind of turned into a clown fiesta. I mean, you can see that this is a master GM lobby in NA, and there are 56 kills in 18 minutes, so make of that what you will, okay? But that's what you should take away. If you want to get better at Braum, take that part away from the laning phase here. This is just a client. Let's take a look at a game where I went 0-1-27. Surely this will be a better example of my talent as a player, shall we say. You know, I did terrible in that game. We didn't go through it. I made so many mistakes that last game. I mean, you don't die 10 times without making a lot of mistakes. Let's put it that way. This was an interesting game. So they have a Scion jungle, bit of a cheese pick, and actually my jungler and my mid laner linked Discord for this game. So I was on Discord with them, and this game's a little bit unique too, in that we spend a lot of time this game roaming, which I don't normally do. But in this game to great success, roaming and invading with my jungler. Probably because I'm in Discord with the jungler and we're, punishing the Scion jungle. But, not in last game, we didn't go through it, but I roamed a lot last game too, and it was not to great success. Every single time I went anywhere, there was nothing happening, and it was a disaster. Or I'd just die. So, we get over here right at the tail end of them placing this ward, and so I managed to spot this out and then throw a Q in the bush to confirm that they're in there and kind of scatter them a little bit. And we're able to hit a nice flash Q onto the Scion here. And we're able to just pick up this kill level 1 and put him really far behind. You're a little bit too close to the Scion passive, so that's unfortunate. Lose a lot of HP off of that. And, so we swing into lane here, but of course we're in a situation now because I went for that kill and helped accelerate my jungler and put their jungler behind, where we're not going to be able to do a whole lot bot lane because we're playing double range versus melee support. This is kind of an annoying matchup for Braum, and I'm behind on HP. Now what we have to do in this situation is lose gracefully, right? We have to conserve our HP in case we have the opportunity to fight, or in case our jungler comes down to gank us, and we have to play to, for me to get level 2, for me to get level 3, so that we can actually play the lane. Unfortunately, for no reason, when we know that we can just sit back here and wait for this minion wave to come into the turret, my AD carry ends up losing, 60% of his HP, to the Senna and the Zeri for basically no reason. So that's very unfortunate. So now, because we didn't conserve our HP, and I lost more HP than I needed to Scion level 1, I could have walked away from his passive more immediately. I could have... I didn't need to get hit by this last auto if I hadn't turned towards bot lane as sharply as I did. And so we both could have conserved more HP, and if we were full HP here, knowing that their jungler is on our Raptors right now because of this ward, we could be looking to 2v2 them off of these minions here, but instead we're not really in a position to. So, last game was a great example of me abusing vision in order to get an advantage in lane. This game is... at least this part of this game, which is going to look really boring, is actually a great example of just losing gracefully. And a lot of times you're in a ranged matchup, you're playing against that Karma or whatever it is, and you just can't do a whole lot, and you just have to lose gracefully, because the thing is that Braum is one of the, best peeling support champions in team fights that there is. That's his identity. And so if you make it to those mid-late game team fights where you have a lot of teammates around you to abuse your passive, where you can, really bait people into fights, with W and Guardian and ult and E, and just peel the hell out of somebody, he becomes such a strong, powerful champion. All you have to do is make it there without losing too much in lane. So this is a good example of losing gracefully. Really, like I was saying, is there's kind of a couple of different modes that we're going to see. And the things that are going to make you successful as Braum are the things that I do, especially when it comes to these in-game things that I'm doing that are making me successful on Braum. It's losing gracefully when I'm in a situation where I have to, when I'm weak-sided, when I'm in a bad matchup, when we just don't have the HP to fight, just playing weak side well. and losing gracefully. It's going to be using vision better than most players to try to get advantages and outflank people, to basically cheese them constantly throughout the game, not just level 1. And you know, the other modes that we're going to see is we're sitting even 2v2, but we take in good information about where the enemy jungler is, like he shows top or mid or something like that, and then this explosiveness out of the gate where I see their jungler mid or I see their jungler top and I'm instantly all in on their bot lane, and their bot lane, you know, dies 2v2 before they knew what hit them. That's another mode. Another mode is going to be, and maybe it's my weakest mode, is definitely going to be you know, roaming sometimes, because even though Braum's not a great roamer, you can do it. And in the same way that I abuse vision in bot lane, you know, to get these plays off, I can abuse vision, you know, to get good roams off. Problem is it's you know, it's not an easy skill. It's hard to time, you know, when you're going to roam where and end up at the right place at the right time where a fight's going to break out. It takes an incredible amount of foresight, like jungling, you know, to kind of know where you need to be at the right time. And if you find yourself, you know, in the wrong spot at the wrong time, it's terrible. You know, because you end up losing a lot. You know, somebody dies on the other side of the map and you're stuck doing nothing on the other side of the map. Feels really bad. And it can really tilt your teammates too, right? If you make a bad roam like that. So we see this skirmish breaking out over here. You know, forget lane priority. My AD carry is going to farm this under tower, no problem. I can start moving whenever I want. I don't need to have the wave up here to start moving. I'm running to this guy as soon as I can. Now, unfortunately, you know, he ends up, you know, running over here. Scion pass is really strong. So by the time we get to him, he's really low. And this could have been a really dangerous situation. This could have been a situation where we, you know, we got baited into dying. But luckily they focused the Zac and he's able to jump the wall, and I'm basically able to walk out scot-free because they focused the Zac. That could have been, you know, a pretty rough situation where we could have ended up dying. Like a lot of us could have ended up dying and getting baited there. So we end up resetting, you know. And it's at this point where we probably, I think, stop playing for bot lane as much, and we're going to see a lot of roaming and looking up at this jungler, especially considering their Discord and whatnot. See the fight breaking out mid, you know, don't end up just pathing straight bot here. Again, waves into our turret. My AD carry is just going to end up collecting that, farming for free under the turret. So I'm able to come and impact this 2v2 skirmish. I'm going to be honest, this skirmish looked pretty bad before I got here. So this is a really good roam. You know, because I honestly think that this is a play that if I had not come here, you know, this could have been a 2v2 in the other direction. So we got the roaming, we got the plays off of vision, we got the you know, the losing gracefully in a bad matchup. We got it all right here. Especially because I didn't show you the 10 times I died last game. Looks really good, doesn't it? So okay, let me show you this right here. Genius play by the Kai'Sa, actually. So what we're looking at right here is I'm coming back towards bot lane. Why am I coming back towards bot lane? One, we already got the man advantage, so I shouldn't be needed to secure these grubs, right, in my opinion. My AD carry had just collected this wave under turret, right, that their bot lane had shoved in and then left. Usually, when the wave is shoved in under turret like this, it's going to bounce back and start pushing, you know, towards them. So if we look at what happened, it didn't end up bouncing back and pushing towards them for whatever reason. I'm actually not 100% sure why. But I guess this wave was just small enough under the turret that instead of being stuck here, he's just able to clear it. This is a genius move. He sees that I'm moving back up towards the grubs and there's a lot of pings on it. So my AD carry is going to do something really smart. You've probably never seen somebody do this. Okay, so this is what this guy's going to do. These waves are even, right? It's two cannon minion waves. They were going to meet in the middle. What my AD carry decides to do is he decides to walk up and pull some wave magic. Okay, he's going to walk with the wave so that the wave aggroes him. And so now instead of their wave walking up here, their wave is going to meet here. Why is that important? Because it's not meeting in the middle and it's not even. Instead of this wave and this wave just meeting even and it's staying in the middle, now this wave is going to be closer to their side of the map. So when their next wave gets to reinforce this wave, it'll be closer and so it'll get here faster, which means that it will push towards us. And so he recognizes that this is the advantage of playing in high elo. He recognizes that I'm going to be gone and going top and playing for my jungler, and so he doesn't complain that I'm going top. Instead, he pulls the wave like a genius and sets himself up with the slow push towards himself so that he can continue to safely farm under his turret. If he tried to shove this wave, that's their mid laner mauling about me roaming, by the way. Oh, it's the 3rd of July. I'm like, why are there gunshots outside of my house? Okay, people sending off fireworks, okay? Jesus. The Kaisa, right, is not one of these silver 80 carry players who's going to complain about their support roaming. This guy is going to use every little thing that he knows about wave manipulation so that he's going to get the wave in the right spot, so that he's going to chill and he's going to be able to farm up and do well regardless of where I am, and let me make the plays that I need to make with our jungler to win the game. This guy, MVP right here, okay, right? Now, here's the other thing. If he had just tried to shove this wave outright because it's a cannon wave, he would probably have not been able to shove it before they get back in. So another way he could have got it to bounce back into him, right, is to just shove it into their tower. But because it's a cannon mini wave, he probably wouldn't have been able to clear it fast enough. So this is, you know, a lot of even good 80 carry players, even in like Diamond 1, I would say. Diamond 4 level 80 carry has no idea what's going, and below has no idea what's going on with the wave, probably mad that their support's roaming, right? And maybe just hitting the wave when they feel like it in a way that they feel like helps them last it or something like that. D180 carry is trying to shove this wave into the tower to get it bounce back into him because he has some sense of wave management, knows that I'm gone, and knows that he needs to get this wave into the tower so his wave's not in a bad spot, not in the middle while I'm gone. Like a high master GM 80 carry, this guy is pulling the wave, recognizing he can't shove it fast enough, pulling the wave, guaranteeing himself that slow push back into himself. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, we secure the grubs, and we get onto their jungler yet again. And yet he doesn't have a chance. He's 0-5. He's 0-5. 7 minutes into the game. Okay, Discord's OP. You might see the level of the game quality increase a lot if they just added voice chat. You know, add some voice comms. My 80 carry met an unfortunate fate here, to be honest with you. He ends up getting chain combo. And then, you know, I think he was fine here. Had he ulted the Zeri for the shield and just played under turret, unfortunately he goes in and tries to get the kill, and his Q splits between the minions and the Zeri and the Seraphine, so he doesn't have the damage to get the kill. You know, he was close. He was really close. You know, now I don't have to go back to bot lane quite as fast because my 80 carry's dead. You know, and we see this fight breaking out mid. Boom, we're in here. Now, did I do anything here? No. But I'm picking up the assist anyways. You get the idea. I honestly don't think we need to go through much of the rest of this game. I do go, like I said, 0-1 and 27. I think here we should have maybe, like, moved to catch their bot lane out when they were up at our turret. Instead, we end up taking their camps away. It's kind of whatever. This guy's going to pick up the dragon. We're going to run over here and pick up another big kill on the Scion. Their mid laner's mauled. Game's over. It is what it is, you know? 0-6. That's about all there is to it. I mean, there's more of that, more invading their jungler, but he's already really far behind. We already put him in the dirt. We can move on to the next one. Okay, let's take a look. We've got 2 games right here where I went 2-5 and 5 and 2-5 and 3. So let's see what happened in these games, because this can't be good, and I haven't seen these ones yet. So this can't be good. We got Alpha Male Melvin, Willie P. Oh, I remember this game. This game's a tragedy. Let's see what happens. I think we played this game really, really bad. So let's take a look. Okay, so level 1. We're going to come, like I said, I'm going to sit in my spot here near the action in case it happens mid lane. They do have a Blitzcrank, which is kind of worrying. And then I'm going to move down into my spot, my other spot, here in the bush for the
Minions
level
have
1.
spawned.
Let's see what we got. Same thing, the cheese works again. Oops, I hit the record button. Same thing, cheese works again. Unfortunately, I end up taking the kill with Q, which was actually quite bad because I think Caitlyn had it for sure. I was worried the guy was going to flash over the wall though. But Caitlyn might have had that for sure, and we could have followed over the wall with flash as well. If I would have queued the blitzcrank there, that would have been really good. A little bit of extra damage onto the blitzcrank, slowing him up, and like 2 stacks into the passive, we might have gotten the double kill right there if I had queued the blitzcrank instead. We're gonna get the wave into turret. Try to recall, but unfortunately he's going to stop our recall right here. So we're gonna recall. It's a little bit slow. Better late than never. It's the right thing to do. We got some gold to spend. We got a little bit of a lead here. So similar thing. Cheese working like a charm. Their 80 carries pinging. Mad, as always. Blitzcrank cooks a minion. Got W again, level 2 here. Now we're level 3. Oh no, I remember this. Oh no. Okay, this game we did actually get. I think there was a game where I put points into the wrong ability. So these guys end up getting double killed mid. Kind of chilling bot. We see that their jungler's mid, but he's also exiting bot side of mid, so we have a little bit of time, and it's basically gone at this point, so we really can't do anything to their bot lane. Blitz switch the minion. Oh my god, I went in and yeah, probably don't want to go in there. Boom, jump on the guy. Look at this break. Look at the explosiveness. A lot of little things went wrong here. A lot of little things. To be honest, it's a great engage initially. A lot of good explosiveness. Quick combo. Get the trap onto the guy, and I'm backing out a little bit, you know, so that I don't lose too much HP. Unfortunately, this trap here misses, right? And we should, you know, we should back out here, but unfortunately, Caitlyn walks forward and gets hooked, and then misses the EQ. And now Caitlyn's, you know, really positioned himself poorly because he's gotten hooked and he's E'd further away. So now I gotta walk up to the guy. So I auto Kaisa to put the passive down and drop Ignite, but I'm running straight away because I'm gonna die. Now, my play here to escape is I'm now going to W to a minion, and then I need to flash, but unfortunately, Blitzcrank's charging E right now on his auto. So I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to get my W off, so I flash, and unfortunately it's a bad flash because I basically just flash so that I can W like a tenth of a second earlier, and so now I don't get the whole extra distance from flash, and so now I just die to the second auto here, whereas I would have been out. Although Caitlyn's probably just dead here anyways, So I really tried to do as much as I could, essentially sacrificing my flash, you know, so that Caitlyn had the best shot of getting out. But unfortunately, I mess up the flash, and so I don't get out. Caitlyn does hit this trap here and gets the auto off. And is fine. Now their mid laner's coming in. So he should be fine. Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's one death. You know, it was a good trade onto Blitzcrank, but their whole team was here. Maybe a little bit too much, again, to be playing aggressively like that. When we saw, again, the Shaco exiting mid, I was kind of playing aggressively in the face of their entire team. So that's, like, not good, you know, and that's one of the reasons why that didn't go well. And then Caitlyn obviously, like, got hit by that hook. I could have easily gotten hit by that hook too, though. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's one death. So this is not good right here. There's no reason for me to be back bot lane here because A, there's fighting going on mid, and although Kassadin's too low really for me to do a whole lot in this situation. But there's just no reason for me to be bot here. This is nothing bot. I clear the ward, but they know that I'm here 100%. And unfortunately, you know, we try to go on the Nefiri, and their jungler ends up being here, and so my jungler just dies. So that's pretty bad. Not really a whole lot I can do from there. Maybe it's just too telegraphed of a play because they see me crossing this ward here, and I should just clear the ward and go back bot. But my jungler was pinging to go for the play, so, but I should have just gone back bot. So, you know, here we have another situation where I'm looking for, you know, one of these flanking plays, one of these vision plays. Does seem like it's warded out or something, though. Can check here real quick. It was not, but their AD carry's playing really smart, really respectful. And unfortunately, I do land the Q on this guy, but my AD carry's too far away to do anything other than hit this Q. But, I mean, the Q is good damage. You know, it's isolated Q through no minions. So, my Q plus Caitlyn Q does do a little bit of damage there. So we gotta get this wave in and get out of here. Oh man, this is really unfortunate. We gotta get this wave in and get out of here. Although Shaco just showed top actually. So I ended up losing almost all my HP off of that really good hook. Caitlyn just gets flash hooked and dies, basically. I probably, yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I probably shouldn't have played for that. And so I tried to come back in and help him and cancel my recall, and then I ended up dying. Pretty good hooks from Blitz, you know. I should have been a little bit further back behind my minions here when we were approaching their turret. Caitlyn should have backed off. You know, not gotten flash hooked because I was 1 HP and couldn't do anything to help him. I shouldn't have, you know, re-entered to try to help Caitlyn. So now, off of this base, instead of going back bot lane, I'm like looking at a play top. So we're trying to go to roaming, probably because, you know, bot lane's a disaster at this point. We had that like really nice level 1 cheese where we got the kill onto Kai'Sa, but other than that, we've gone 0-3 now. Once off of the or 0-4. Oh, we only 0-3. Oh, Caitlyn lived off that gank. I died when the Shaco ganked us, and we got double killed there off the blitz hooks. So we don't find anything off that roam, so we end up walking up here and then walking all the way back bot. Caitlyn luckily is able to get the wave in because it's actually maybe okay to roam mid there, but it's kind of ambitious to roam top because the wave was into our turret, so it's pushing towards them, and if they had caught in the wave or frozen it or something like that, it would have been really rough. So this is a situation where we have the wave up, you know, so it might be nice to try to slide in a little bit forward. but we don't know where their jungler is. And I'm not 6. I'm not close to 6. I just hit level 5 and they're both 6. Not bad, because I can use my abilities to get out of that situation, but that's not too great either. We see Shaco here. And our jungler's topside, and there's no objective up topside, so we're really just going to have to play safe here and lose the dragon for free. This is definitely a game where we're going to have to try to make something happen. So we you know, cheat up towards mid. Not really anything happening there. Come back towards bot when they're shutting the wave. Dang, maybe I should have gotten it there. But they missed the wave and then they just leave. I guess it was warded out. Hey, they're pinging their Rooter's alive. Or maybe they're just being cautious of him. So that doesn't work. And making sure that their bot lane actually recalled and isn't sitting in one of these bushes waiting to choose what guy to do to them. Get the wave in and then just leave. So I'm fresh level 6 and we're losing bot lane, so you know, roaming up to grubs here or whatever could be okay. It looks like I'm not going. Our jungler is dead actually. I mean, I would be like, you know, here or something anyways. And this is a play at this point, we see Blitzcrank up there, right? So I'm just 100% gotta commit on the Kai'Sa right here. Like, we've gotta get the kill onto the Kai'Sa. Unfortunate. I knew this was gonna happen too. I'm trying to maintain my, you know, my, what do you want to call it? My, flank on Kai'Sa, my positioning behind him, but the problem is that he can ult behind me if I do this, and the minions are here. So really in this time space here is I actually needed to run at him and throw Q at him or something, or at least run even with him, you know, so they can't do something like that. So unfortunately he just gets away, but you know, I call probably pinging here that we need to dive because of the disaster that's gone on top, and we're so far behind. We've got a 2v1, full HP. We've got to get onto this guy. We just don't make it happen. There's just too many pings coming out from the rest of our team at this point. I think, you know, if I don't get full commitment from my AD carry here, it turns into a big disaster for us. But at a certain point when you're behind like this, you have to start like playing a little bit aggressive too, trying to make something happen. So we find this. Okay, that's pretty nice. Pretty good. You know, so it's the point where you start seeing me using my abilities a lot more frequently than I was before, because we're in a pretty desperate spot. Even though Blitzcrank's back in the lane, like we see Shaco mid, and we got to kill them. We just have to kill them. No other way around it. So land a really nice Q into ult. You know, Braum ult's really slow. It's really hard to hit. So you know, a lot of times I like to you know, only ult if somebody else has CC'd them, or if I've thrown Q and so I've got the slow on them, and then I'm able to ult them off of the Q. Plus, you know, I put passive on them with Q, so it's, you know, you can like chain the ult into, you know, into passive. I kind of hover towards mid here with the Cassidon, and then I'm coming towards bot. My jungler's a little bit early on this one, so this guy might just be out. I have to run a pretty aggressive path here. I would have really liked to run around and, you know, make sure that I'm able to get onto the guy at all, but I have to run a really aggressive route to try to get to my jungler as soon as possible. Unfortunately here too, you know, now they've got enough people here, and my Q just happens to, you know, it's really hard to play versus Neferi on Braum because you can't hit Q. Take a look at this. I mean, I think our jungler first off goes poorly on this, and plays it quite poorly. Honestly, Caitlyn kind of played it too slow too. I mean, Udyr's, you know, getting killed over here, and he's just like hitting the minions under tower. This looks fine here, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's bad spacing from Caitlyn or just the flash from Blitzcrank, but Blitzcrank getting out here is really bad. And I think it's... oh, man. Yeah, it must just be bad spacing from Caitlyn, because if Caitlyn has flash, there's no reason why she couldn't have just flash autoed the Blitzcrank initially. Instead, she does it after, you know, he's used W. And at this point, right, with Cassidon coming in like this, it looks like I have to get Kaisa. But Caitlyn flashing forward like that just kills himself, and then I'm just dead here to Kaisa passive. I probably needed to back out instead of tagging her at all. I was setting stacks on Kaisa passive. He just dies. So I think, you know, just kind of all play that poorly. I think Udyr goes a little bit too fast, and I'm not there yet. Caitlyn's not quite there yet. I think Caitlyn stalls too long on the minion wave, etc., etc. You know, game's kind of a disaster. What did we go? We went like, what, like 2-5 and 3, or 2-5 and 5, or something like that. So we'll see. There's probably not much more to go over, to be honest. I mean, at this point, I think that, you know, we had a good start with the cheese, and then it was just all downhill from there. A lot of... I played a little bit too aggressively with Shaco near bot, not respecting where their jungler was, and then, you know, Blitzcrank hit some good hooks that really screwed us up. Trying to find something mid, but we don't have to do any damage. This guy's trying to do Rift Herald and just kills himself. Our jungler 6-1. I mean, you know how it goes. Honestly, you know, all things considered, you know, sitting at 2 and 3 here on Braum is bad.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
We did find, like, you know, that kill onto the Kaisa back. We need to get something.
Shut down.
But maybe not quite enough back.
Has slain the dragon.
Get Kaisa's flash heal there.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So something happens here too, because Mr. Alpha Male Melvin over here was doing pretty well in top lane. And, you know, the game's not that doing. Like, he's doing really well in top lane. He's playing York. You know, we have a split pushing win condition that we wouldn't normally necessarily have. And so if we just kind of chill and do fine during the mid game, like, this game's actually still winnable through him. So we, you know, we end up messing up and throwing that away, and let's see how that happens. But again, we probably want to move through these games and get onto some laning phases and stuff.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
So he gets that turret. get some ward coverage around mid because we're trying to push out this mid turret, especially if they go for Yorick. We need to get the mid turret. They go for Yorick here. We have to push this out. We gotta get the turret. And things are looking really good. Because at this point, we get the mid turret like we're supposed to do, and Melvin's actually killing down there. And so we actually end up getting the triple kill down there and getting the mid turret. You know, so it was at this point, it's like, you know, we're even in gold with other teams, and we look like we're in a really good spot. We've been pushing down the mid. We end up forcing this guy off. We just, you know, we're getting all this hurt. We even killed a Kaisa here.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Get an inhibitor here. Here's those champions. Okay. So we end up getting, you know, a lot off of this, and now we have a massive gold lead from the turrets. We've got, well, not massive, but we've got, you know, nearly a 3k gold lead. I guess Yorick gets shut down, but we've got inhibitor now into the Baron spawn. We've got bot inhibitor into the Baron spawn. So, I mean, how do we lose it? I think I get caught, to be honest with you. You hate to see it. You know, I want to get vision. I want to get vision for the Baron. Doesn't seem to be a problem yet. Okay, Melvin's going top. Shoving out the mid wave, which is fine. And now we got to get onto Baron. They go on Melvin top. So this would be like a start angle. We would create a lot of space top. I remember. And Melvin goes on the Blitzcrank. Caitlyn actually threads the needle and kills the Blitzcrank. The problem here is that, you know, if we're going to play right next to him while he has Hullbreaker, we better actually fight with him. Team fight 5v5, but we're like scared to team fight 5v5, so we're not doing that either. Here's a pretty good Rami. I'm able to block Nefiri jumping in. I think that's her W with Rami, so they don't get onto the Caitlyn at all. But we're all really chunked out here. But, you know, if we live here and reset, it's not the end of the world. You know, so the Baron play didn't work out. But, you know, we're a little bit impatient on this bottom inhibitor wave too, right? Like, we needed this wave to be, like, in their base and then be going for Baron. And now Dragon's up. Although they're on it. So they get the Dragon, so our focus should be back on the Baron. Hook, but I just should have, you know, taken a little bit of a safer path here into mid lane. And so this is, you know, another little thing. It's going to delay us a little bit because I'm dead. But, you know, I'm support. It's a quick respawn timer because I'm lower level. We've got Yorick split pushing bot side again, and now I'm back. That big of a deal. We end up trading, you know, 1-for-1. That is our DPS though for the Baron. So Melvin's pushing bot. But hey, we end up getting the jungler here. we get their jungler. Melvin's taking Nexus here. How could it possibly be? I guess he dies. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Unfortunately here with my W, Kassadin, I don't know, for one reason or another, he was probably waiting for something with his ult, but, you know, I expected the timing to be a certain way with him ulting over the wall here, and so I just pressed W on him, expecting him to be over here. I should have just, you know, the better mechanic would have been to just hold my cursor over here and then W over here instead of trying to W to the Kassadin. You know, so I just end up Wing to him over here, you know, when I wanted to W to him over here. So that's just dumb. Otherwise, that whole fight might have, it might have been, you know, was close enough that it might have been just a big enough of a difference to end up helping us in that situation. This whole situation's weird. I don't really know why I stayed and played like that with no HP. I don't really know why Caitlyn wanted that. I think that's one of those things where, well, I don't really know. It's like, maybe I stayed because I was worried about Caitlyn. Maybe Caitlyn played up because I was there with him for some reason. You know, and so this is really bad because now we can get the Baron off of that. It's, you know, little things too. It's like, well, I don't really know what happened with this play, and it doesn't really make sense to me why, like, Caitlyn put herself in a position where she could die here. Like, even though I have to flash away here and it's really bad, like, I don't know why we put ourselves in this situation. If I had just recalled here, you know, then we don't lose Baron here, and we probably just don't lose the game. So that's kind of sad. Honestly, we don't really need to watch the rest of this game. Most of it is probably just kind of depressing, like, little sad plays like this, you know, until we kind of get choked out of the game. Even though we really had a win condition through all this split pushing and getting so much gold back from these turrets. Just kind of got a bunch of gold back through the turrets, got a gold lead. But we've got other laning phases as well. So I end up like getting caught here, but it's another situation where like I kind of feel like I have to block for the Caitlyn. And maybe I didn't. And so then they end up getting soul off of that death, right? So now, like, essentially, you know, both of these plays mid, where we've gotten killed here, or you know, Caitlyn got killed here, but I was staying for no reason and had to flash away. Like, this results in us losing Baron, it results in us losing soul. And so, you know, at the end of the day, like, my jungler played really bad this game and went 2-8. But you got to blame yourself on these things, especially when they're so clearly leading to, like, big objective losses and stuff like that. But we can move on and look at the next laning phase. That's a sad one. So we got another one, another little depressing one where it's 2, 5, and 3. Let's see what we got with this one.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So it looks like we're calling for an invade.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Honestly, I thought Xin Zhao's win trading this game, so we'll see. We'll see about this one. One of the reasons why I don't like invading, especially in this rank, is because a lot of times when people call for invading and like low masters, it's like win traders, right, have communication with the other team. The person they're trading with on the other team, so they'll like get the teams to meet level 1 in a way that like is really bad for one team, you know, and then they'll get screwed. So right here, it's a little bit late because of the invade shenanigans, but you know, I put myself in position to get into the bush, but my AD carry is not. You know, he ended up just like sitting here and AFKing in the lane. This can still work out okay, depending on how they walk in. Because sometimes I can like get on them and then my AD carry, you know, they'll like even less expect me to be in the bush by myself. It's also Leona level 1 though. So Leona level 1 is one of the few that can really compete with Braum, because Braum can't really stick on to their AD carry and, you know, just like run them down like I'm doing with some of these other champions level 1, because Leona can just Q and insta stun, and her Q is on a really short cooldown, and she's going to get it off a lot faster than we're going to get off Braum passive, for example. And even Braum passive has a longer cooldown than that. So Leona is one of the few champions we can't really fight level 1 anyways. You know, so we're going to see here that I just throw the Q onto Leona, you know, for a little bit of golden poke, and then I go back, because we can't really cheese them level 1 anyways. But it's unfortunate, right, that we don't get the advantage that we've gotten in all these other games of this like nice level 1 cheese. Get level 2, take W, move in on their AD, and he's just forced to flash right away. So that's pretty good, you know, that's perfectly executed level 2, good W into Q. So far so good. So we're going to shove the wave in, try to get it into a neutral position. I must not have ward or something from level 1, or yeah. So my AD carry, get my AD carry to ward off of the ping. And same thing, I just post up in a bush. And they ward it. My AD carry could have hit the ward here. But he doesn't, so that's a little bit unfortunate. They already know it was there though, so that part's kind of... Get on top of him again. So a couple of things here that we'll go over. So Nyla is a really hard counter to Braum, because Nyla E makes it so that your basic attacks can't hit him. So obviously that's a really good counter to Braum passive. Problem is that this Nyla picked Nyla because I picked Braum probably, and doesn't really know how to use it. So we're gonna see here is he panic keys, and he pops it here even though no one's in range of autoing him really anymore, and he's you know, and he's only 2 autos. So we just switch to the Leona, but then as soon as his E drops, we switch back to the Nyla, you know, and get a nice chunk out onto her. We keep fighting here. Yeah, honestly, like, Vayne could be playing a little bit better. But, you know, it's a good, very good trade. We have them both chunked low now. Let's see what ends up happening here. Evelyn kills Vayne. So we're actually being cautious right here and letting them push us in of their jungler. So I'm really surprised that we would die here. They even use this, so we kind of know that, you know, they might be here. Vayne's not dead. He just killed himself. Well, that's not good. So unfortunately, there we go. There, you know, there's There's a start to my lane. I hold them here. That was bad. You know, so the idea behind this is that we don't want to let them recall, because if they recall, they get their gold advantage off. This was very, very risky and aggressive from me, but I do like that we've kept them in lane here. You know, we're giving ourselves a chance here to fight back in this lane by keeping them in here. Because now, as you can see, Vayne has actually bought pickaxe after he died. Their AD carry has nothing. So by keeping them in lane like that, even though it was, you know, a really bad trade, by keeping them in lane like that, we've actually kept our advantage going, you know, here for as long as possible in this lane. Vayne's getting a good poke on them. So Leona's level 6 now. So now they're both level 6. And they recall, and then we're going to shove this wave into their turret and deny them the wave. Especially because we had, you know, our whole team down here to get the dragon. And hey, we're, you know, we just picked up that dragon, we're up a dragon. So it's not really looking too bad. Vayne puts just the right amount of time into the turret plate to get it. I stay, you know, so that we're recalling at the same time here, in case something happens. We get the recall off. A little bit slow. Maybe him going for the plate there was greedy. Lucy's minions here. It's not too bad. Okay, so look at this one right here, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm just barely in vision. But, you know, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to do what I normally do. Which is, like, instead of immediately, you know, walking right back into lane, just in a straight line, I'm going to try to, you know, and they were walking over here. I assume this is warded. Yeah, they have, like, a ward here. So, you know, I avoided wrapping around on them this time. So we're just going to try to come back into lane and immediately look for something. Unfortunately, we don't get anything here because, you know, too many minions in the way, can't hit Q. It doesn't really matter at all to my HP to look for something like that. I mean, this is pretty unfortunate. This is really my bad, but, you know, I think actually what I'm looking for here is we had cleared the wave, and as the wave was, we can look at this again. As the wave was, you know, they're back here, their wave's back here, our wave's back here, and as they're coming into each other, I'm trying to sneak up in this bush again. You know, to go for one of my classic plays. But what ends up happening is they have this control ward. So then, you know, I turn to auto the control ward. Unfortunately, I need to throw a ward or Q preferably, right? Because Q is going to be longer than a ward. Need to throw a Q in this bush and clear that they're not doing the same thing to me. And so I just don't in this case. Everything's a little bit slow. It's almost like I'm recognizing that that's what needed to happen, you know, like right as I go for that auto in the ward, I'm like, oh shit, I need to clear the bush, you know, but don't have to clear it out. So unfortunately, we just get comboed here and aren't able to get this off. And it's very unfortunate too because Vayne was level 5. So if Vayne's level 6 there, it can pop ult and maybe hit from further away and not get stunned at all either by the Nyla ult and the Leona. Maybe Vayne can at least do something there, you know, with ult to be dealing more damage there, so it's not such a bad situation. Honestly, if Vayne has ult there and he plays it really well, it's even possible he trades 1-for-1 there, but maybe that's a bit too much to ask, and he didn't have ult, so it's not possible. So similar thing, I mean, this is just kind of running back into lane, but we're not just running back into lane and standing there, we're running straight into the lane. I'm the first one there, and then immediately fighting them, and we just get a free trade kill back to Leona. I know, very, very amateurish for them to somehow die to that. And then we look to stop the Nyla's recall, and I find her. It's just unfortunate that Vayne's not on the same page, you know, and back here farming the minions, because if Vayne had come with me or something like that, I think we just kill Nyla here. But either way, you know, we stopped her recall. And then I decide, you know, that I get real aggressive with stopping her recall. And, but I'm not going to be able to chase any further than that, not knowing where their jungler is. But, you know, little things like this, it's little things. It's like stopping their recalls like this, you know, keeping them in lane longer as well. So it's not just that playing for vision and other stuff. It's also like keeping them in lane when they want to be leaving, stopping their recalls, or fighting them right when we get back into lane and they're trying to leave. You know, chasing them down when they recall in these bushes instead of just letting them get away. All very good stuff. So, you know, it's kind of a disastrous lane if you think about how it's gone so far. You know, we've died 3 times. We died once with the Vayne dying to the Evelyn gank, and then we got 2v2 killed. But, you know, off that mistake I made here in the bush. But Vayne's, you know, basically even in CS. And actually, once he collects his wave, he'll be up in CS despite all of that. So, and that comes down to, you know, it doesn't mean that we're winning, but it comes down to these little things. Okay, let's take a look at this play.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So Nyla just tries to go on the Vayne here, and I'm on my way. You can see I don't immediately walk up and show, right? Like a lot of supports would have shown here, and then Nyla would never go in here. But, you know, we kind of bait out the Vayne. Hit the Q ult onto the Nyla. And then we just get the passive onto Leona and do our best to force Leona away from the Vayne. Unfortunately, Evelyn shows up and kills the Vayne there. But, you know, we pick up the kill onto the Leona.
Turret has been destroyed.
And similar thing, like, essentially this whole game, I've made this one mistake, you know, here in the bush. Other than that, it's been a pretty clean game, actually. And, you know, I think, like I said, try to play where I lose gracefully from behind. And so I think, even though we were double killed once in this lane, we managed to play it pretty decently so far. But we're kind of out of laning phase at this point, right? So we could move on and look at another VOD, but you know, and you can see it's like a lot of these kills, especially at this rank, you know, they're even the 2v2 kills are cheesy, right? You're not really gonna straight up 2v2 kill super easily, you know, on vision like that. And so there's a lot of play around vision, you know, or all that stuff. Kills here when they try to go on me, end up 2-1-3. And then, unfortunately here, get caught overstaying mid, and then we both die. I get chased down.
Blue team's Red team's turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
The game ends pretty fast, so we can just see what happens here. Run out, ward around the Rift Herald, Dragon's down. Hover the mid wave with Vayne. Collapsed on it, killed.
Killing spree.
1-5. Unfortunate. Right they just ended up having too many people there. We didn't have numbers.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Try to skill dragon, almost get it, don't get it.
Team has
Can watch this fight one more time. That's about all that there is to this game, to be honest. And then what do we got? We got a couple more here. We have one victory where I went 1-5 and 23. These 3 games, these last 3, were actually all really crisp laning phases, I think, and good movement. So these will actually be quite good to watch for the laning phase. But I'll end the... because this is probably taking too long. I'll end when we're done with laning phase.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
So, you know, we got this spot here near mid lane again.
Minions
Then we're going to run down towards bot and try to get in the bush. So we slip into the bush here. My 80 carry, again, not so much. So you see, you know, it's really unfortunate when the 80 carry is not on the same page, but I end up getting onto them anyways. Rakan uses W, right, which is the only way to escape forward here, actually. And I end up getting a kill here. It's just a couple of unfortunate things here, like... I think Jhin probably plays this kind of poorly if you look at it. So first off, he doesn't get in the bush with me. I should have autoed Rakan instead of immediately going on Kaisa. But this is fine. You know, when he's reloading, why is he... I get that, like, on Jhin, when you're reloading, you're probably going to want to walk back. But this is like a kill 100%, right? I mean, look at what's happening here. So there's no reason why he can't be, like... you know, running down here while he's reloading while also staying out of range of Kaisa. You know, and Kaisa's hitting me anyways. There's just no reason why he can't be in a position here where now, right, the guy's one auto. If Jhin was up here, Jhin could just flash auto and get first blood. Instead, I have to flash auto and get first blood, and I can't do it in one auto because I have a little bit of less damage. So I have to flash and get 2 autos, and now I'm in a really compromised position, right? And then we're trying to stun up the Kaisa, but unfortunately she has cleanse. You know, and at this point I'm dead 100%, so I just get my last auto in. Now Jhin is reloading here, for sure. You know, but Kaisa has... Jhin has flash barrier and Kaisa has no cleanse. So all Kaisa has is flash, Jhin has flash barrier, you know. I'm pretty sure Jhin just wins this. He's up in HP. It's 250 to 364. He gets this auto in. You know, it's 187 to 357. I'm pretty sure he just wins this if he just keeps autoing the guy, even in the minion wave. Maybe I'm wrong, but seemed to me like he could just barrier up there and finish the kill. You know, so that's a little bit unfortunate that it goes 1 for 1 like that, and I'm the one that ends up getting the kill. I think that we could have played that a little bit better, but it's fine. So same thing, we're not gonna show them where we are. We're gonna sneak into the bush here, and then look at this. Rakan has no idea where I am. And his sense of timing isn't good enough to tell, you know, that I should 100% be back in lane for the last couple of seconds. And we get on top of him. Now, unfortunately, right, I miss my Q. And Rakan's got, you know, WE at this point, so he's quite slippery. Again, I don't know why Jhin doesn't get 4th auto on this guy, though, and do a hell of a lot of extra damage to him, even if he does manage to E out, you know, or make up for the fact that I don't hit the Q, but I don't know what's wrong with the Jhin. It's fine. So see, they're trying to recall here. And this may be another situation where we don't want to let him recall. Same thing. And Jhin gets the stop on the Kai'Sa. We hold the wave, so now we have a freeze. So now they're in a really bad spot. Because our jungler's down here, right? They can't walk up. They're, you know, Kai'Sa is half HP from this level 1 fight still. And they haven't gotten the ability to recall. And we're basically just not going to let him. So I just walk up here and find the Kai'Sa and stop her recall. Now, unfortunately, though, my jungler is going for this fight in the river. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh. Okay, it's fine. There's a lot of flashes going on.
Blue team double kill.
Okay, look at that. Diana gets a double kill. I wanted to try to find this guy recalling here, but I just couldn't do it without getting into the turret because he's, you know, in such a good spot. So he finally does get his recall off, but his wave's been frozen on him for the past couple of seconds or so. Unfortunately, Jhin actually just breaks the freeze right here. That's bad. Because now, right, breaking this freeze, we have to shove this whole wave, because it's already past their turret, to get the wave into the turret, and their AD carry is going to be back by the time we do that. And get on top of their jungler, though, boom, we have a kill on their jungler. Honestly, game is looking pretty good. Gonna reset real quick. Same thing, don't just walk straight in there. I'm coming in, you know, over here. Sneak in here. You know, I'd love to just jump on these minions here. You know, this is what this play is for. Is like I get in here and I jump in on one of these minions and go on Kai'Sa, but we can't. Hopefully we have the awareness that their jungler is coming. But this is okay too, right? Because this creates, like I had in those first games we were going through, it creates this situation where now they think there's no way I'm in the bush. They've walked past it, nothing's happened, the wave's up way up here. Like, they have no idea where I am, right? So, you know, here, it's a little bit tough though. The wave's gigantic. You know, their jungler's still bot side. We can't wait forever. And Jhin lands a nice root onto Kai'Sa, so now I'm going to walk out of the bush, you know, and reveal and try to get onto the Kai'Sa. And we do actually get the Q and the Ignite down onto the Kai'Sa, but she's going to cleanse the slow, and so she's pretty much just out. Not too bad, though. I mean, we blow her cleanse. You know, could have been a better situation if their jungler wasn't bought, you know, while I was setting up this flank. But, you know, you look for those, and sometimes it gets you a cleanse, and sometimes it gets you a kill. You know, it's the same thing. I'm even posting up in this bush. I don't care. My AD carry doesn't respond, so I just walk away. I don't mind. Braum is so good at cheesing these bushes. This is one of the reasons why I don't like to roam as much. Is he's so good at cheesing these bushes that a lot of times, you know, doing this over and over and over again, this is so much more effective than roaming for me, because you can be patient here. You're not even really missing XP or anything. It's like it's the same as if I was standing next to this guy the whole time, you know. I mean, I am down a little bit in XP or whatever, but you know, like I said, it doesn't really matter. You get rebound XP if you're more than 2 levels below the average level of the enemy team. So, you know, like when I was level 3 there, I was getting extra XP every minute he kills because of that. And I mean, their Kais is on edge, that's for sure. Slip into this one, you know, down here, throw this away from their vision.
Killing spree.
You know, hang back here so that they can't scout me out with that Q. Now they really don't think I'm in here because they checked it with Q and didn't get hit. But then I move right up into the guy, and then he walks right into me. Now, unfortunately, again, it's a recon, so you know, very slippery, and able to just walk away from that one. And Jin misses the W, but you know, we're putting a lot of pressure on him. I didn't necessarily like this Jin ult here, but unfortunately we just end up fighting into their jungler being here and die, but luckily we are able to trade it 1 for 1. Look at this. Uh-oh. Gonna have to use this W flash trick to get out again. Yep. Very unfortunate. Really, pretty stupid gameplay from me right here, to be honest. Really, I should be recalling. And I should have been more aware of where Annie was regardless. I think what I'm trying to do here is harass Kai'Sa and keep her in lane. And if I can stop her back again and keep her in lane after she's done farming that wave, all the way until Jin comes back, it can be really good for us. But unfortunately, I just like don't keep good tabs on where Annie is, and also take like a pretty aggressive recall. Like even if I had recalled here and then they started pinging me that Annie was on her way, I wouldn't have to blow my flash. You know, so I have to take a pretty rough exit from that one, you know, and now my recall timer is a little bit slow too. Jin's got another freeze here, he breaks it again. Absolutely interesting. And you know, this is part of what happens here is Diana flashes Rakan's mid on this timer where he's able to be mid and I'm not because of my delayed recall. Interestingly enough, I do just show bot here. Then I hop in this bush. I just jumped in to get the turret plate gold because Jin was out of range. Make sure they don't deny us a plate. Part of the problem is I might be overdoing this a little bit this game, because obviously once people catch on to the fact that you're doing this sort of thing, it is easy to just make sure that you're careful around the bushes all the time without costing you a whole lot. And, you know, it's annoying that you have to be so careful about every bush. but it's definitely playable.
Rampage.
So Rakan jumps in here. Rakan jumps in here, and we had a good, pretty decent trade, but then I miss everything, and Jin misses everything. Oh, he hit everything. Oh my god. Okay, this play gave me cancer. I'm not really sure why Jin's AFK on this one, but I don't know. Maybe I'm trolling. Why is he walking away? Hello? I don't know. Me and this Jin are playing in two different universes, but to be honest, I think my personal opinion is that this Jin is having a bit of a weird game.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I played with the guy before. I don't remember him being a bad Jin player. I mean, he mains Jin, the Jin one trick or whatever. Oh, I'm falling asleep watching these games. Let's see. I hover mid here because my 80 carry is on this reset timer when I'm on the map. So I go mid here. Get a nice ult. Well, we get 1-for-1. Then I try to just walk up a little bit here to pressure them into, you know, splitting which way they're going. Kind of help Diana. Don't really know that Jin needed to ult there either. This guy just walked right into me. Dies to Diana. Diana actually did the same thing I've been doing, which is I walked in here and was hitting the ward. Makan saw me, but he didn't see Diana because she was sitting back here in this bush. And then Diana, you know, came in onto him when he went in on me like that. Very similar situation to what we've been seeing in a lot of the vision plays that I've been going for in these games. Oh yeah, I remember. I just get greedy. I try to clear the control ward here. I mean, their support is there, but unfortunately their jungler's bot and my jungler's top side, and you know, it's an Annie, so it's got a lot of burst damage. So I get killed, and then you know, they go for dragon. I think this whole situation's a little bit tragic. You know, I think we would have liked to see our jungler come and play for the dragon. Considering we had gotten that pick on their support, we're doing well. You know, it is what it is. Some of these junglers at this rank are just absolute farm demons. I mean, he's 114 CS to 69, so it's not like he's doing nothing. He's creating a huge advantage for himself. For the 2v2 with Diana, just mostly to hold them off with stop play too. We end up transitioning into some roaming. I realized, I think at this point, that like my Jin's playing a little bit off, you know what I mean? And like he's not playing terrible, but he wasn't playing with me after that death bot lane, that's for sure. And my Diana's 7-0. Great synergy with Braum. My jungler's obviously really far ahead in CS2, so I think at this point I pretty much just link up and play with my jungler, or I mean my mid laner. This was kind of a slick play. Probably shouldn't have taken the turret shots though. Basically the game's over on this time. So that's the end of the review right there on that one. Let's see if we can find a little bit more. We got these two that ended in defeats, but I really liked my laning phase in these ones, I think. So we'll see. So let's see what we got here. We've got, oh, the same Diana. Except on the enemy team, no wonder why I lost. We got our Edison over here, I think was an auto-filled ADC. And yet we still managed to do some good things. So let's take a look. So we're on the other side of the map now. And finally. And I'm going to hover this, you know, side near mid. Leona actually wards this, so we'll see what happens off of that. Although it's a Leona anyways, so like we said, probably don't want to do any sort of shenanigans level 1 against a Leona anyways as a melee champion. So we'll see what happens here.
Minions have spawned.
So we do come into the bush here. But they see me. But this ends up being pretty decent because even though I'm taking really low off of this, and they had it warded out, so they were able to get a pretty good, you know, counter to it. What's nice about this is Leona burned Ignite, and so now we do have a summoner spell advantage regardless. It's not like a flash or something like we would normally get, but even though I lose a lot of HP, we get that Ignite advantage, which is not too bad. And now, you know, at this point, we're kind of playing for the, you know, play safe, let them get level 2 situation.
Blood.
We get level 2 here. Lee Sin's here for some reason. We tag him up. Little bit ambitious here though. Fortunately, I died to that Ezreal. But you know, we trade 1 for 1. We could have played it a little bit better, probably. But, you know, not too bad. 1 for 1. Fighting mid. Diana force flash out. And then we're gonna, you know, we're gonna roam mid here. Not a whole lot going on anywhere else anyways. And we're just gonna stay. And we're just gonna, you know, make sure that Xerath gets his, you know, big recall off. And I, you know, like I said, I'm a dick about recalls, so, you know, I'm not gonna just let this guy recall. I'm gonna come stop this guy every single time. My mid laner's back. You're losing away, man, buddy. Woo, and mid laners hate this. They absolutely hate this. Unfortunately, these things does get on here. But, you know, it's traded back again. And all of this stuff is resulting in Yi getting really fed. So you got to kill off of me dying mid. You got to kill off of me dying bot. It's a little bit of a rough start for me, I guess you could say. But, I mean, you know, I'll take it. My Yi is 3-0. Same thing, you know, playing off of the vision here. We come and sit in the bush. This, I love to see the Ezreal W this guy because it looks like Ezreal's going to E into him to proc the thing, not knowing where I am. Boom, we're going to get right on top of him. Unfortunately, they're junglers here. We trade that. But, it's, you know, it's going to be another 1 for 1 because they're junglers here. A little bit flippy to, you know, do all this stuff not knowing where their jungler is. A little bit flippy, but, you know, still getting advantages from it. And you have to keep in mind, we're trading 1 for 1 when their jungler's committing resources and time bot side, and Yi's continuing to, you know, do stuff like this and get our team ahead. I guess they're trading Dragon back.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Unfortunately, this is warded. Honestly, you know, given the fact that my mid laner ended up just recalling here, I would have liked to see me, you know, in this case would be another good situation to just run straight into the bot bushes again. You know, but we get in here regardless. And if enough time passes, they don't really know where I am, whether I, you know, went and started roaming towards mid or whether I'm here. You know, I swing around into this bush. You know, look at how I'm rotating into the bush. Beautiful. You know, this is another situation. There's a lot of little things I do around the bushes, whether it's, you know, rotating in here, playing really well around the vision with it. But look at the, you know, this is something that we've only seen once, so I'm going to point this out. I do this all the time, is standing either in the front of the bush versus the back of the bush when I feel like they're about to, you know, check whether I'm in the bush or not. Now, unfortunately, you know, Ezreal has, you know, he walked up far enough with his Q that I'm forced out of the bush, basically. You know, it's going to hit me anyways if I stay in there, and so they're going to know, you know, and so I just get flushed out of the bush. You know, they're cautious of it, they're playing around it.
Shut down.
A lot of nothing. Here we pick up the kill. You know, could have been cleaner. Unfortunately, Kog'Maw's hit by the Leona E, and I missed Q right as they're trying to go in. You know, so I can't really miss Q in that situation. When did I evolt here? Oh, it's still level 5. Not that I need to flash.
Red team double kill.
Well, anyways, so that's fine. I tried to shove this wave. This actually ended up being a disaster. Braum's super slow at shoving waves, so I ended up shoving this wave and then got stuck again. So I mostly just denied Kog'Maw CS by trying to shove that whole thing. Let's take a look at and talk about what's happening here. So, you know, I'm hovering towards this action that's happening over here, but I see that Leona's basically got the jump on me already. Actually, I don't know that I see that, but I see that we can get the kill. Oh, I do see that. Or no, we're red side. I don't know. Either I saw that Leona had the jump on me and she's already moving to the play way ahead of me, or I just figured it was a free kill on Ezreal. And I jump in here, and basically Ezreal doesn't have a ton of time to react to me instantly jumping forward on him. He probably needed to E immediately. Could have been okay. Like, he didn't start strafing away. Instead, we get into it and we just go on. You know, that Q into ult combo is very powerful if you can hit it. Of course, you know, a very, you know, standard trick that most people, I think, are aware of on Braum is that if you use E while you're Wing forward to something, your Q can be thrown while you're jumping with W. Whereas if you don't E while you're jumping forward with W, your Q can't be thrown until like a second after you, not a full second, but like some delay until you land with W. And so you can get much faster, cleaner combos if you don't really need your E to be pointed in a precise direction or to block damage and abilities at a certain time. You know, when you're in a lot of these situations where I'm just coming out of vision and attacking somebody, or we're 2v1ing somebody, or we have numbers, or we're going for a gank and I want to get a Q on somebody, I'm oftentimes popping E, you know, so that I can get those faster WQs off, you know, to make sure that they have a harder time doing that. I don't even think I did that there, actually, because I held my Q, you know, to see what Ezreal was going to do. But, you know, that's important tip for Braum. Okay, so right here, oh my god. This is a situation where I'm looking for Ezreal on this timing to be about back into lane. And so even though I'm a little bit low, you know, I make quite an aggressive play to, you know, to get in this bush and potentially try to work with Kog'Maw on denying Ezreal access back into this lane. But unfortunately, Lee Sin's here and ends up, you know, taking me really low. And, you know, unfortunately, Kog'Maw ends up actually having to trade here. But I mean, again, this kind of sucks that, you know, I kind of baited Kog'Maw into dying, but it's another great play for us. It's another huge tempo play for our jungler. You know, their jungler is once again trading 1-for-1 bot, dying. You know, so it's not bad at all. And so at this point, you know, our jungler is 7-3, really far ahead. You know, we just kind of play range on Leona. She cancels my recall really low. Just kind of play range on him. And end up picking up the kill. Oh. But we don't quite get the Leona. Oh, we get her here with the Kog'Maw. You know, I honestly thought that we could play this together and win this fight versus Diana, the three of us. But we didn't quite play it together. Kog'Maw was out here but walked into range of Diana. If he had played down in this bush with me where Diana didn't have vision, and if she jumps on one of us, you know, we put Braum passive on her and the other gets a hit, that would have been a lot better. We also have like Kog'Maw passive to pop on her and kill her. I guess Yi was playing for, you know, preserve my HP, probably preserve a shutdown here, and try to let Xerath pick up the kill, but he's not able to pick up the kill on Diana. And then he gets teleported. But yeah, did he just trade with Diana? Okay, so let's see. On this one, we've got like my 80 carry farming under turret against kind of situation. A lot of pings going down on the idea that like Lee Sin might be going for Yi's red. Now he doesn't, but what I am able to do is, you know, come here and potentially work with Yi on like cutting them off here and maybe getting this rift arrow. He's just farming. I just drop the wards and then leave. Let's see. Okay, so another situation here where we're able to get behind Ezreal. Unfortunately, you know, as we can see, just play it a little bit wrong here. Just like last time, I really need to wait for the guy to E. I think I tried to predict his E because he was holding it appropriately, but I would have eventually gotten to him if, you know, if I had waited. You know, this is unfortunate. So then I go for the flash auto, and then I'm going to ult the guy, and he flashes away. So we end up trading my flash and my ult for Ezreal's flash, which is okay, but it was a lot of resources. And if I had played the Q a little bit better, maybe we would have been maybe we would have had him and been okay.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Zoning the Lee off of the dragon, making sure he can't Q back, or the rift, making sure he can't Q back into it. Blah, 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 blah. Looks like our lane might be over at this point if we're playing right.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So that's kind of it as far as the laning phase goes. It wasn't anything super special, but, you know, it was decent. Again, we had, you know, plays where I'm looking for, you know, this is how I play lane, and I think that whether this lane was amazing or not, it gives you a good idea of how I'm playing lane. I'm looking for those explosive plays where we see them showing their support roams and shows on the other side of the map, their jungler shows on the other side of the map, and I just kind of explosively, you know, use W to play more like a Leona than a Braum, to play aggressively, to get on top of them and engage instead of playing Braum as a peeling champion. He's a great peeling champion in team fights, but what he's also got is the ability, if played correctly, and if you know his range and can use his W and vision really well, you have the ability to play him as quite a strong all-in champion in lane too, just like any other tank support. It just takes a little bit more creativity, I think, with Braum than other champions that have more instant CC and easier engage tools to figure out how to engage on the champion. But if you can engage on the champion well in lane, and you can here we're trying to get on Ezreal again, and you can oh, he backed up, and you can you know, do what you need to do on Braum in team fights in order to peel well, then you're gonna have a lot of success, because you're gonna have mostly decent laning phases where you're either going even, or you're coming out ahead, or maybe you're slightly behind, but most of the time you're like even to slightly ahead on average, right? For a champion that actually scales quite well and can really carry a lot of team fights and skirmishes. So you know, that's what we're looking for in the lane. And if you're in a really tough matchup, if you're not into, you know, tanks and stuff like that, if you're in a really tough matchup where you're getting poked out, you're going to fall behind a little bit in CS, but you want to try to just hold even in CS and lose gracefully and wait for your jungler to come gank you when they overextend, that kind of thing. Yeah, laning phase pretty much over for this. Let's move on, I think. Is this the last one? Finally. Holy moly. Going through a lot of games. Was that, let's see, that was this one with the Kog'Maw, and then this one was versus the Vigar. Okay. This was a hell of a game. You know, we lost this one, and it didn't, you know, scoreline didn't look too great, but this was a hell of a lane. I don't know if it was like their Soraka seemed kind of auto-filled. I know Owen is a Vigar bot, you know, OTP, one-trick pony. So he's not filled or anything like that. But, you know, we ran them in lane this game, and it was quite a thing of beauty. So we'll take a look at this one to cap things off here. So this guy spots me out. I'm kind of surprised this guy's even willing to walk into me level 1, you know, as a Braum. And wow, like ships passing in the night. That was crazy. So I didn't get to even cheese in this lane, you know, which was like I said, how a lot of my lanes, especially a lot of my good lanes, might start. Didn't even get to cheese because I was, skirmishing with that Talon level 1. And so at this point, it's kind of doomed, right? We're mostly playing for getting level 2 after them because the Soraka is going to be able to push, and I can't really walk up to do anything with the minion wave. Nice Q there. Get a little bit of poke damage on the guy. Like I said, the Soraka's trolling a little bit. Probably should have been hitting the minions a little bit more. Really nice Q into W, right on top of him. Flash through the Vygar cage. Can't do anything with it though. So just a fancy flash just to let him know. You're gonna hit him with another WQ right here. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. Don't get, don't walk into the cage. Just play it nice and cool. Calm as a cucumber. And, we'll wait. We'll keep doing this over and over again. I'll keep doing this engage 10 times until my AD carry decides to walk up and kill you guys. We'll just keep trying it over and over again. What's crazy is, it's not actually great to have to keep doing this over and over again. Okay. Yeah, my 80 carry is a moron. He pinged me after that. Can you believe that? Oh, that's funny. Can you believe he pinged me after that? He just, I'm like Giga smurfing the lane and he's not following up at all, and then, and then he just walks up and kills himself. This is going to be a good example of how to play a really clean lane on Braum, and your AD carry might be trolling a little bit. So let's fast forward, get this guy back in my lane. So boom, similar situation. You see me done it before. I'm holding the wave here instead of letting them crash it, and I'm searching to stop their recall. Now Vygar has teleport, so unfortunately not quite as good of a strategy here, and I basically just throw away my HP. But oh. So I walk back out of here, I'm low, my jungler's coming, I'm kind of baiting. This is another thing I don't think people get on Braum, right? Is that, like, a lot of times when you want to go in on Braum with W, right, people will walk up really far, or maybe their W's on cooldown, and they'll walk up even further while they're waiting for it. It's like, what you actually want to do is you want to walk further back so that your W is max range every time, so that they don't expect how far you're jumping. So we have this situation here. Our jungler's got the flank and he's coming in. I think I have to throw the Q on Vygar at that time, but, unfortunately, because I don't really have another way to gap close. But unfortunately, Vygar flashes the Q, but it's fine. He flashes a Q, and we just walk at him, and they're dead. I didn't even get an assist. But, if I would have, gotten overexcited that my jungler was here, and walked out at the Vygar or something instead of just walking and backing it off here, I could have killed myself to the Vygar. I could have tipped him off and he might have been able to get out, things like that. So, but yeah, sometimes you want to bait them in by playing further backward. So this is something we haven't really seen me do a whole lot here, but sometimes, I'll be abusing this bush thing too much, right? And they're like that Leona Ezreal game, they're so overly cautious of the bush or whatever that they're never walking up, and I can't really do anything. Now that game, why did I, continue to do that? Probably because I didn't want to interact with them in the lane. It's not like if I get onto the Ezreal, he's not slippery enough if Leona's right next to him and stuff like that. We're probably just not going to kill him. And Leona's really tanky, and she's got Q every 4 seconds and stuff like that too. So, it's a difficult situation. So we're not gonna be able to necessarily do this. But one of the things I do a lot actually that we haven't seen is I'll be playing this bush too much, and so they figure I'm in the bush, right? And they're not walking up, and I'm not getting a W out of the bush to surprise them. So what I'll do is I'll walk back into the lane and show them intentionally, hey, I'm here, but intentionally, and then walk backwards, you know, behind my wave so that they feel like they have room to walk up. But, you know, if they don't know Braum's range exactly, I'm going to be right on top of them with W, you know, and then they're going to be in trouble. Okay, my 80 carry is dead again, or what? Almost. So he's not dead, but he is almost dead. And so now I'm just back here by myself. So I do show here, but I basically gotta, you know, somebody's gotta collect the. I mean, what can I say? I could have fooled myself watching the replay. You know, I said, you know, my 80 carry lost all their HP. I don't usually like to show like this. Maybe I'd like to be roaming or whatever, but, you know, it's kind of nice for somebody to be picking up this XP and a little bit of gold. Their Soraka just walked it a little bit too far, and I'm able to hit him with a nice W, nice Q, little ignite, bada bing, bada boom, don't get stunned by the Vigar cage, and you're dead, you know. I'll take this guy, too. Look at this. If I kill this guy, oh my goodness. Look at that. Dodge the W. Dodge the cage. Oh, my Kaisa missed the W, or I swear I would have killed that guy. If he hit W, I would have hit Q and this guy would have died, I swear. But anyways, it's fine. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness, here it comes. I can feel it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I feel it. Boom. Passive on both of them. Nice. Kaisa actually, you know, good spacing on the auto Q there. Very good. Boom, they're dead. Just clean WQs this game. Look, I even pick up, I'm feeling it. I'm rushing swiftness boots because I feel like I'm space gliding on these guys in stage. So I'm rushing swiftness boots. I'm going to run the Soraka down like it's never been done before. You know?
Red team has slain the dragon.
So here we go. We get in the bush. Vision abuse. Here we go again. Jungler's coming in hot. Don't want to go too early. Okay, now we're on. You know, she flashes with you. Alright. Boom. Split right between him. They got this guy. Try to play for the double kill if we can get onto the Soraka. Honestly, maybe a little bit too aggressively. I'm playing for the double kill. I might want my teammates to do something here, to be honest, but, you know, it is what it is. I hit that Q if Kaisa walks up. It's fine. I'm still looking for the kill. Here we Q. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe this laning phase went better in my head than I remember. Or I remembered it better than it was. But listen, you know, a lot of that was I don't understand why we're not playing for the kill on the Soraka here. I think we had her, you know. In all seriousness, I swear, if I have that backup from my team, if the abilities are going to matter, and if I have the confidence, and I'm not watching, is my Kaisa, you know, I'm not watching back here, is my Kaisa coming to me or not. If I'm able to focus on the Soraka and the Q's going to matter, we're going to hit those abilities and we're going to be killing them. Problem is that, you know, my teammates are kind of like playing pretty far back, to be honest. No reason to be scared there of a little Soraka. And, you know, this is the other thing too, like I looked up after the game, the Kaisa does main ADC surprisingly, but he doesn't play Kaisa very much. So look at this one. We're going to, you know, come in, they can't see me around here. Boom, W to the cannon minion. E is up, but it's close to the thing. You can't see it. Boom, we even get the auto attack off from inside the cage. The ignite's out on him. Hit another Q. Straight up dead again. Just absolutely space gliding on him. Every time I walk back into lane, just right onto him. Boom, another one. Unlucky. How are we doing in this game? 14. Ah, pretty well. Look at this. We catch the wave for the Kaisa. Nice little freeze. Find out the bush is warded. Excellent here. Come in with another W. Not really sure, so there's a lot of problems with this, right? A lot of problems. Problem here is that I want to go in, but my Hecarim is pinging off and hesitant about the play. You know, he's recalling here. Okay, so he starts recalling here. This is when I want to go in, and I have my W back. He pings that Talon's alive, you know, so he doesn't want to do it because Talon, he's worried about where Talon is. Talon's on over here, but, you know, we may not know that, so that's kind of whatever. He doesn't want to go for it, right? So I don't go on this timer. Hit this Soraka with Q. Unfortunately, I missed the ult. I should have hit the ult. Again, my Hecarim's so far back, man. Even if I hit the ult, it's like, he's so uncommitted to the play, it doesn't matter. They're getting a little bit of, you know, good recall canceling shenanigans going on too. I just recall anyways. Wait for the minion wave to push up. You know, come in here, but then we, you know, switch over. We're getting dragon.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
My AD carry trying to die again. Minion block, whatever. Flash on the guy. Boom. Nice, perfect onto the Talon. Kaisa lives there. Wonderful, splendid Q. Again, we have this guy. We have this guy. Walk up at him, man. I mean, come on.
Red team's turret.
Come on. He's dodging himself to death, man. Come on. We gotta be better than that. That's why we lost this game. Bit of a limit tester, but you know, we're coming up mid here. Onto the Soraka. And my turret's dead. Looks like laning phase is just about over on this one. Let's go forward a little bit. Onto the Ahri, a little bit too aggressive though. Getting collapsed on by the team. laning phase over. Well, I hope that hope that helps you guys kind of understand how I'm laning. Like I said, I would break it down to a mix of a few different strategies that I'm implementing, right? It's like, number one, especially if you're in a bad matchup, lose gracefully, right? It's okay to be pushed under turret, to wait for your jungler, to play for the rest of your team if you're weak side. It's good to respect enemy jungler. If you don't know where he is, don't, all in bot lane and coin flip 2v2s. I try not to do that very much. We saw it, a few times, but not very much, which in these games, which is good. When I see that their support has gone off somewhere else, or that their jungler is showing on the other side of the map, and I know we win 2v2, that's when I pull the trigger and start jumping in really aggressively, and and start making plays happen 2v2. With Braum, like we said, that's going to involve a lot of Wing forward onto minions. You almost never see me Wing onto allies because it's just not as useful as being able to use it as an engage tool like that. You see a lot of missed ults, and that's the way that Braum goes. Braum's ult is not easy to hit. And, it used to be that the most powerful part of Braum's ult was around him in a circle, at his feet. And so the way that you ulted on Braum was not to try to hit people who were far away because the ult was so slow, but to hit people who were right next to you when you were peeling, or if you got on top of somebody, right? We don't see that as much on Braum anymore. Braum's ult is better if you hit it on somebody at range, but it's hard to guarantee because it's such a slow ability. If anyone has any ability to blink, or even if they're just not slowed, it's straight up easy to miss. And so for those reasons, it's very important to use Braum after Braum Q. You got the passive combo in order to do that. Like I said, when you are jumping in with W, make sure, if you can afford to throw away E, use E so that you can get your Q off quicker when you're jumping in like that, if you're trying to be explosive when you're going in on somebody. Cheese level 1 in these forward bushes and abuse vision to kind of recreate that cheese over and over again throughout the rest of the game and throughout the rest of the laning phase, because Braum's really good. When people just walk into him like that, they're doomed because of Braum passive, and it's really easy to hit all your abilities, right? So you just try to recreate these cheeses over and over again and play with vision. It could be in the bushes, it could be wrapping around and flanking people, it could be, standing back here while your AD carries up here and then waiting for them to go in and then jump, up to the guy. We saw a situation kind of similar, although I think it was in a bush, where an Ezreal threw W at my Kog'Maw and then I jumped to him and stuff like that, or like I was here and my had a Kaisa against an Ezreal and she was low and then baited and I got in here and she ended up dying, but I ended up trading the kill back, kind of thing like that. It's just a lot of baiting, a lot of playing around vision, some roaming, and some games end up being a really heavy roam game and others not so much, depending on how things are going and what champions and stuff like that and where the action is, and what your jungler is doing. But, some games you do see me roaming all over the place a lot of times, and sometimes to success and sometimes to not so much success. And let's see, what else do I do? The losing gracefully thing we talked about, playing off of vision. I mean, that's about all that there is to it, right? And, I hope that after going through, a few of these games of me playing laning phase, you get a sense of, how I'm playing laning phase. Not everybody has to have exactly the same play style, but I think a lot of Braum players get caught up in the fact that Braum is a very defensive, anti-engage, like this disengaged champion that's just supposed to peel, and they don't utilize Braum to the fullest extent that he can be utilized in the lane, and so their laning is just bad. And so you see a lot of Braum players in lane, just kind of standing around, and then they'll, E and stuff like that, they'll try to disengage if the enemy does anything, but for the most part, they're just AFK. And I think that actually the way that I play, and sometimes it can look like I'm AFK too, because I'm just sitting around in the bush for a long time waiting for the right moment, but I'm trying to create a lot of opportunities, on a champion that is not like a Nautilus or Leona and has 50 tools to, engage and go in with. But I'm able to create a lot in my solo queue games from abusing these things. And these things are only going to work more the lower rank you go and the less cautious people are about respecting where you could be on these plays. So I hope that this helps you guys understand Braum's potential better, helps you understand the way that I play the game better, maybe even helps you, hopefully not, if you're watching this and you're Master Plus in an A, maybe helps you play against my Braum a little bit better, to be honest. Maybe you avoid those bushes sometimes, maybe you throw a few more abilities in there, maybe you ward against me level 1, so, hope this helps. GG, good luck in solo queue, and have an absolutely, there's 20 of me, absolutely, now there's none of me, wonderful day. Goodbye.